This is Shannon Cook with Drywalldoc.com in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Today we're fixing a plaster ceiling that a customer called us about. He had water damage in plaster, and that's what happens to plaster when water damage occurs. The house was built in like the 40s, so it's solid plaster ceiling. Some of the ceilings in this house are drywall. They just did additions and stuff like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to chip out all the flaking plaster and get all that out of the way. And then we have a product we're going to put over it, oil base called Calcimine Recoater, that we'll coat it with, that blocks all the stains and the calcium buildup on the plaster from coming back through. Then we can solid coat over it with a product we call hot mud. It's a powdered mud that dries almost like concrete. It's like plaster also. Kind of just tapping to see what all's coming loose. You don't want to just, raw dog it and make it pop off all the way, because it's not going to come off right there. So you don't want to just keep doing it. Where it stops falling off is where it stops falling off. I'm just trying to get all the loose plaster off. This is plaster. And this is plaster. This is like a build-up plaster, and this is like the real slick plaster that they put on. So we're going to recreate the slick plaster over this. But I have to put my oil-based product on this to make it stick and to cover up any stains that try to bleed through, or the calcium buildup or anything that comes through from it being wet before. So that's what happens when plaster gets wet. See plaster and it has this stain on it, and you have to use like a Calcimine Recoater on it. And Benjamin Moore makes Calcimine Recoater. I'll show you the can so you'll know what we use. Very few people even know about it. We actually paint ceilings with it because it's a flat oil-based paint to block stains, and it looks really good when it dries and it's thick. So you can usually put one thick coat on it and it works perfect. Then we have this crack up here, look straight up, that happens in a lot of plaster jobs. This house was hit by a tornado. The plaster still in place. It's stuck on the ceiling really well, but it just cracked in a few places where the house got shook violently. The plaster's not trying to fall or anything, so we're just going to repair these cracks and sand it and paint it. Like I said, we prime with the same product that we paint with, because it works so well to block stains, and it dries flat. It looks really well. And I always use it over plaster, because plaster is so easy to let stains come back through after it's painted. We got the ceiling all scraped and everything now, and then we're going to prime it with this product. It's Calcimine Recoater. It's by Benjamin Moore. It's oil-based paint. It is really strong smelling. It's probably freaking stronger than a woman does CrossFit, but we're used to it. I'm just doing a little bitty area, so I know everybody says wear masks and stuff. Hey, this is what I choose to do. It's open area, not enclosed, and it's just going to be a small area, and I'm going to be walking off. So we're just going to put this on it and let it dry, and it takes about 45 minutes to dry because it is oil based. Put it on nice and thick. It'll seal everything up where our mud will stick real good, because this stuff is kind of sandy up here. Should block all these stains from coming back through. Gonna get into every little crack. And we'll seal these edges up good. Just like a glue. Way thicker than cover stain or Keels. It's real thin. You can use those, but I like this. It's designed for covering up plaster and keeping it from bleeding back through and building up. If it gets wet again, it will come back through, but if it doesn't, then it won't come back through. I'm going to put it over the crack to help with the bonding, and also to kill that stain that'll try to bleed back.
Now, will you use a fiber fuse on that crack or no?
Yes, yeah, I'll use fiber fuse on that, and I'll have to show that product in a minute. What Jeff's talking about is a product called fiber fuse, a fiber fuse, that once you put it on with mud, it blends into the mud, so it's unlike paper tape. Paper tape never fully bonds to the mud. It literally becomes one with the mud, so you don't have to worry about all that. It will actually make part, but it's just like fiberglass, so it becomes part of it, which is what we want. We want it to be one with the ceiling or with the mud, because we have a lot of ceilings that when they get wet, they will let all the tape fall off. All right, we got that primed. We're gonna let it set for about 45 minutes, and then we'll start our mudding. All right, we have the ceiling in the kitchen primed and it's dry, so we're going to go ahead and take the crack up and start putting the hot mud on. side up.
Think "Let's Go Brandon" on the side of your pan.
You got a shirt, don't you?
I'm getting one. On the way. But, yeah, I've never worked for business. I'm gonna be like the comedians that are in the business the longest. I'll say nothing about none of it. Alright, now we got this first bed coat done, and we'll try to slick it out a little bit to get the lines and dips and stuff out of it. Just get what I can out before I put the next bed coat on. This is a real thick bed coat, so you leave lines in it. That way you can fill in what you need to, and then I always slick it out just to help it be easier to finish. Sometimes the middle dries way better because it's thicker mud. It dries faster, it starts setting up. And the edges will. The edge is still wet, but the center's solid. So I'll have to wait on that edge to do anything. And go ahead and do the center part. Alright, we'll just have to wait on the edge because it's still wet. But that'll be good enough for us to put another bed coat on anyway.